Do you hear what I hear? Readings from my favorite Christian writers. Today's book is entitled Don't Settle for Safe: Embracing the Uncomfortable to Become Unstoppable by Sarah Jakes Roberts. I'm reading from chapter 4 entitled Know Your Roots, page 60 to 61. When you are shaped by your environment, you search for the best parts of what you've seen to emulate. You judge your life by what you can see of other people's existence. From my vantage point, it seemed like everyone in my environment had strong walks with God and unshakable faith, which I was not sure I could even correctly replicate. I was tempted to mimic the outward expressions of faith that surrounded me by being boisterous in prayer and by constantly reciting scripture. Instead, I chose to distance myself completely from the environment that shaped me. Once you come to a place where you're able to look beyond the surface layer of that environment, you will recognize that the essence of that world has been instilled deeply within you. Taking the time to understand the environment that shaped you is necessary so that you can recognize the inclinations that may exist within you. I have no doubt that there is no one else on the planet like you. When God decided this world needed you, He created a village to surround you, and His presence is ever with you. Unfortunately, that village is not one we always understand. Sometimes that village can seem to cause more damage than good, and we are left wondering why God would place us in a situation that seems to be detrimental. But consider this: we could be the factor that begins to change our circle for the better. He placed you in an environment full of nuances, undercurrents, and obstacles that would nurture your purpose in life. Each component of that environment plays an integral role in fulfilling the original intention He had when creating you. Your childhood circumstances have played an essential role in producing the inner characteristics you need to overcome every obstacle assigned to your life. Did you know that your obstacles were assigned by God? There's a passage in Jeremiah that tells us God has plans for us. Those plans are meant to prosper us, not to harm us. When those plans are completed, we will receive a future and a hope. It doesn't matter how the early stages of your life began. All that matters is how dedicated you are to pursuing that expected end. There will be moments in your life when you question if your life is full of dead ends. But avoid placing a stop sign where God only placed a yield. Sometimes God has to allow other people to go ahead of you so that the path can be clear when you get there. Your environment has worked for you, not against you. When you look back at your history, you won't just see the moments you felt like quitting or moments of uncertainty. You should look back on your life with the knowledge that even when you felt as though you could not continue on, God was strengthening you. We may be blank canvases when we are born, but as time goes on, dimensions and layers are added to us, and the mystery of God's plan for our lives is revealed. Do you hear what I hear?